in the end, Carlton fans will take another victory, 6 from the last 7. And now the question of whether they can turn this into something. The Blues by 38 points.
You just expected that someone else is going to do the hard yards and be able to get pretty possession.
It has to be learning. It has to be good, solid learning. But understand this feeling. You've got to understand this feeling. We've got an 8-day break. We shouldn't be at all satisfied with yourself tonight.
You don't need good luck, you make your own luck.
I still can't believe I've done my ACL.
I realised that I wasn't really dreaming anymore, I was down to business.
Because you have a duty to control the ball.
Getting back to, I guess, who you really are, not just the footballer.
Given that I'd lived in South Australia pretty much all my life and had more than 15 years with the Crows, it was exciting just in terms of the change in the proposition of Carlton. So, you know, there wouldn't be many clubs, I think, if presented the opportunity that you want to come to more than Carlton. 2015 was a year of significant change. In fact, you'd probably call it seismic change. And well, we talk about the journey, and the journey was never going to be 1 year in terms of the growth. You know, in the end, we want to be the dominant club on field and off field, but one of the most important cogs in all of that is the depth on our list. If they were to give us 2 drafts and 2 exchange periods a year, or then we could bring it together quicker. But there's just no magic dust in that. You know, it's going to take some time.
Where's your passion and why? There's a few collective things up there, isn't there? We'll just go down a ladder. Your passion, your individual, not collective, yours. Who'd like to voice theirs?
Yeah, my passion and drive this week's just been a better teammate, 360 in the row.
My passion comes from a challenge this week, or playing a different role, doing that for the team.
Just desperate to be an important part of this team. That always tries to be known as a Carlton player.
Playing at a packed Etihad Stadium and looking for their 7th win from 8 games, the Blues never managed to get the game working on their terms.
Right, here's the moment for the Blues to get them back in it!
The Saints proved too slick, coming away with a 32-point win.
They're all learning experiences, I guess. We'd had 4 wins on the trot if we were on the back foot the whole day. So another frustrating week for the club.
Get in the car, kids noisy in the back of the car, boys in there, they're tired, they're sort of going, it's after the game. Put up the lights, thinking about some playing the game, hit the accelerator, seal the brake, straight up the arse of the car. I've never had a crash in the whole time, had a licence, not one, never touched the car. Because I've always still got all my kit on. No way of hiding. He goes, oh, no, you are. And I'm just crossing my fingers that he's going to be all right about it. I said, mate, my fault, sincerely apologise. That topped off a beautiful day, that way.
Family plays an important role for the Carlton Football Club. The club has organised for the Carlton dads to join their sons at training.
No one walks inside the walls of AFL clubs very regularly, but this is just one little sign of us working towards being whole of club.
He's a couple of young fathers here.
Yeah, he looks, he looks younger than the players. But all these plans they have, it sounds great. Just got to execute it now, and it takes time.
One player not participating in the day's activities is Captain Mark Murphy, out injured since round 10. Looking to return to winning form in round 14, the Blues fly north to take on the impressive GWS Giants, a team trying to cement its place in the top 4.
And we're ready to rock and roll from Spotless Stadium. Handball with Williams as they charge through, and what a combination they are. You wouldn't mind being forward here, but he puts it through.
Unfortunately, the Giants proved too strong at Spotless Stadium. Suffering from inconsistent ball use, Carlton struggled to match GWS's pressure.
As the siren sounds, it's the Giants by 62 points.
An interstate loss and a plane trip home provides plenty of time to reflect.
Bolts called me into his office while I was doing weights on Wednesday, and I just assumed it was for vision or something. I wasn't thinking I was going to play, particularly because it was only a Wednesday. So that's when I thought, well, something might be happening here. And he just told me what I need to focus on, and he said if I do that right, I'll play this week. So obviously that was the beginning of a lifelong dream.
Certainly a family history which is unbelievable, indelible in our club's history, Serge and Sauce. So it is really with great pleasure that I can draw out number 2. It brings a hell of a weight. My first advice is probably don't buy any newspapers for 2 years, because they're going to give you a hell of a time. And so you be your best judge. Don't listen to Dad or Grandpa if you know much about them. Congratulations. You don't need good luck, you make your own luck just by hard work and so on, and it'll happen.
Steve, if you feel comfortable to say a few words, it's an important occasion, so.
Yeah, I guess as a father you always want your children to fulfil their dreams, and Jack always wanted to play footy for Carlton, and I guess tomorrow he gets a chance to do that. I know from a family, Jack, we're all really proud and hope you do really well tomorrow.
Sus? You right?
Yep.
You'll be right, mate. I'll tell you why you're right, because you've got another one around you to help you every day of the week.
Walking up the race for the warm-up, I started to get butterflies a bit and realised, it was about to happen. But running out, I realised that I wasn't really dreaming anymore, I was down to business.
Jack isn't the only one with butterflies in his stomach though. with the whole Silvagni clan watching on from the stands.
Parents and grandparents are plenty here at the MCG.
Jack's first opportunity at an AFL goal is met with a roar from the Carlton faithful.
Silvagni will line up 25 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Serge, Rita, Joe and Steve will go ballistic if he kicks this.
But the chance goes begging. With the game hanging in the balance, Silvagni is presented with another chance for 6 points.
Silvagni's got a mark and he has!
But chooses the unselfish option.
Oh no! He's on! Oh no! No! What are you doing, Jack?
Don't spoil our fun, Jack.
After a scrappy back and forth tussle over 2 hours, Collingwood avenges its round 7 loss to the Blues. It's been a baptism of fire for Jack Silvagni, but the youngster in long sleeves has been able to live out his childhood dream, representing the football club he loves. It's always hard losing to the old enemy, but the week had an especially sombre feel to it after defender Kieran Byrne limped off the ground with a knee injury.
Yeah, this is going to be my room for the next year, which is pretty exciting, but there's some days like I actually go by thinking, I still can't believe I've done my ACL. You just you hear of all them stories about people doing their ACL and you're like, oh my God, that'll never happen to me. And bang. I got my first ever win for the Blues against Freo, which was pretty exciting after being pretty much out of the AFL system for about a year. That was one of the best days of my life.
Problem down here, Brian. Yeah, that's not good, is it? Well, I hope he's all right. Shake of the head from Kieran Byrne there.
I felt it pop straight away. It was very, very painful. So I kind of knew straight away that I did something serious. I definitely didn't think it was the ACL, but yeah, obviously I got on the cart and got wheeled off the ground, and I was in a fair bit of pain, which was pretty excruciating. But I kind of knew that I was going to get some bad news as soon as I went in, and the doc checked the knee, and he said he's 95% sure I've done my ACL. And as soon as I heard that news, and I kind of broke down. So that initial week I went through an emotional roller coaster, really. I think it was the day after where I got the MRI scan. It became reality, the fact that I was going to be out for at least 12 months. So I kind of had nearly kind of a positive mindset with regards to it. I was looking forward to getting stuck in the rehab and obviously get the operation over and done with. That was pretty scary. I never want to get an operation again, to be honest. But yeah, to know that you're going to be out of the sport that you play and do for a living for at least 12 months was pretty scary to really think about that. And
because your parents got no family over here, it's kind of in terms of living situation, I'm happy to help out all that, but in terms of washing and stuff like that, there's a lot of things there that behind the scenes.
So we're mapping his next 12 months right now, and part of your time back home and all that. So
yeah, so the club have been outstanding with regards to helping me through this period. As soon as it actually happened, straight after the game, I got a phone call from Bolts, and I would have been on the phone for at least a half an hour with him straight after the game, and he was talking through what he can do and what the whole club could do to help me to get through this period. But can't wait to get back running. It's amazing how much you miss running. All the pre-season, you just dread doing all the running that you're doing, but as soon as you stop running, you're like, oh my God, I cannot wait to get back into it.
Coach Brendan Bolton gathers his leadership team ahead of Carlton's latest challenge, the in-form Adelaide Crows.
what's the vibe and the thinking and the discussion around us? The real one. Not the one I want to hear. What's the real one amongst the group?
I I go every week confident we can win. That's how I feel.
Because you have a duty to control the vibe and the belief. Leaders recognise and act on the vibe. And that's every week. That is every week. Bold, enough opportunities. System and pressure. System and pressure.
As we know, Adelaide are on a great run, so let's see what transpires here this afternoon at the MCG. Reacted well, White, it's a big build-up, Curnow, that's better.
Despite some early spirit from the Blues,
7 goals from 7 games, and he shows them how to do it.
Adelaide kicks away to win by 10 goals.
Easy as you like over the goal umpire's hat for his second goal.
One highlight does emerge from an otherwise disappointing afternoon, though.
Now it's going to be free to Silvagni.
Yes. Oh, that's popular. That's a popular decision.
Second gamer Jack Silvagni manages to nail his first AFL goal.
Footy blood running right through him. He kicks the goal, and every Carlton fan celebrates around Australia.
Great feeling. I probably should have kicked one the week before. I should have kicked off the beat, but no, good to get the first one out of the way, and for all the boys to get around me too, it really meant a lot, so it was good.
Coming back again. The siren sounds at the MCG, and that is 7 in a row for the Adelaide Crows. They jump up to third, and they look a genuine contender.
Probably another frustrating week for the club. They're all learning experiences, I guess.
Just sort of feel like you're a fair way off the pace, but AFL footy turns around pretty quick, and it really is a mental game and how you rock up on the day.
I've got to be uncompromising on challenging you and celebrating for you when you do it. Uncompromising. When you're a kid, when you're developing a skill set, you tell me what training management you got. You race out at recess and lunch, and you're trying to be first to get to the storeroom to get the footballs or the cricket bat. And then overnight when you get home, you go to training. And in fact, after training, you'll sit there and do end-to-end and kick torps into the goals all night. And your mum and dad will be calling you when it's dark. Then you get into a footy program. The program's there, but that's what everyone does. So you stay the same as everyone. Because that program will be as best we can for everyone. But it won't always have the detail of what you need sus as a footballer in. Self-motivated athletes are the ones that actually become stars. You know, the reason it's in my mind is I'm really questioning myself that I don't have to drive it hard. But then I'm going, well, do I?
Custom shoes are reserved for stars of the game, a position that Patrick Cripps is just getting used to.
I've got a pair of Cripps on the side. I'm going to text you Nike Cripps. I'm going to text you Cripps on the sideline. What size are
12, honest.
you? You going to wear them this week?
Yeah, I'm going off the Aquas.
Can't wear these, can you?
Nah, it's a bit out there.
The orange sock.
Bit too much going on.
Oh, yep.
Round 17, 18 and 19 see the Blues matching up against 3 of the best teams in the competition, West Coast, Sydney and Hawthorn.
Unfortunately, this is, Whitey, the last time this year we as a group get the test against the genuine top 14. Can you lead against what's been the best? Because you won't have another fucking chance this year. You're going to have to wait.
All 3 games go down to the wire, With West Coast hanging on by 7 points at the MCG, the Swans by a goal at the SCG.
They've been so brave, the Blues, and Sydney will get their 12th win, but they knew they were in a fight today.
And Hawthorn by 19 points in their Tasmanian fortress. Round 19's Launceston clash with the top-of-the-table Hawks also granted coach Brendan Bolton the opportunity to return to the Apple Isle, his native state.
Yeah, it's always special to come back to Tasmania. I'll be forever indebted to Tasmania because on lots of fronts, Tasmania gave me an opportunity to live a dream, which has been involved in the AFL. I can remember being just a lad from Georgetown driving up to watch the Northern Bombers, and I can remember sitting on the hedge at the back of York Park trying to collect the footy, but just wishing one day I could play at North Launceston. And the footy club that year, in terms of the Northern Bombers, all the wives and girlfriends and family used to come back to the club after the games and all their supporting, and it's really important at AFL level that's not lost, that you can stay connected to people, because that's why we're involved in clubland. I enjoy getting back to see my parents on a little hobby farm at Pipers River, and my boat's down here, so being able to catch a crayfish or you know, a flathead or two is really good fun. And I hope most Christmases I can bring my young fella Ned down and in the boat, and in time little Rosie. So we've enjoyed camping over most Christmases. Yeah, I think there's the ability to escape and use your mind to think creatively. Tasmania, within half an hour you can be out of Launceston or out of Hobart, and you can just escape people. So it gives you a sense of you know, just slowing down. That's important to me, and I just think I'm a country lad at heart. I've grown up in Pipers River, so I enjoy just getting away and being able to clear the head. And you know, we're really fortunate. It was only a little hobby farm that we lived on, but you know, you learnt the importance of roll your sleeves up, hard work by living in the country.
Yeah, when you lose a few games in a row, you can sometimes get a bit too low, but I think the way in which we were playing against some really strong opposition was giving the guys really good confidence. The work we're putting in and the effort that was required was getting us close to these really top football sides.
To get so close was obviously a real positive for us, considering where we've come from and what we've done around the club this year. But having said that, really disappointed we weren't able to come away with a win after such a good effort. And the message Bolt's preached throughout those weeks were proud but not satisfied, because obviously no one likes to lose. Obviously that gap still remains, and I think we're pretty hell-bent on closing that down as quick as possible.
I can categorically tell you, the more you invest in others and help them as footballers, the better you will play. Now people say, oh, I wish when people retire, they go, I wish I was coaching more. You know, when they say that, you will keep becoming better leaders and better players on the back of helping others. And it's what makes you feel good.
It's got good agility. Initially, I thought it was probably going to be 2 to 3, and then we obviously got in a moon boot and realised that the ligament had been pretty badly damaged, so I just had to wait for the symptom-wise for that to go away. Probably there's mixed feelings, like frustration's probably the overriding one. But from speaking to the doctors and the fitness staff, it could have been a lot worse as well. So, and missing out on playing games out there that obviously I love doing, it's pretty frustrating. But obviously spoken pretty heavily with Bolts and the other coaching staff about what it sort of looked like for me in terms of being able to give feedback to the boys during game and obviously post game as well and during the week. So I've always gone down at half time and spoken to the guys and and sort of explain to them what I sort of see. And Bolts has let me take a few meetings earlier in the week about some of our values that we hold in really high regard at the football club, and I've enjoyed that as well. Big focus of Bolts as soon as he walked into the place was about building that leadership density, and I think we've seen enormous growth within the whole playing list this year. So I think the football club's going to be held in a really good stage for the next 10 to 12 years. I think we've got some really good young guys who are going to be around for a long time, which is really good to see. So looking forward to getting out as much as I can in the last, whether that's 2 or 3 games or whatever it is. I just love running out there wearing navy blue.
Round 20 gives the Blues a chance to redeem themselves after their loss to St Kilda earlier in the season.
Two sides on the rise, and here's the opening bounce. Did pretty well to bring it to front and square. Cripps just walks around and kicks their goal.
Unfortunately, it proves a case of deja vu for the boys from Icon Park, with the Saints bringing a pressure to the contest that the Blues found difficult to match. As the final siren rang out at the G, it was the Saints by 71 points.
You think it's going to be smooth all the way through that? But that's what's attractive about this game at the highest level. It's why only you guys can play it, not everyone out there can. It's what you'll miss as much as the highs. In a funny way, you get attracted to this because the game tests you all the time. So as awkward as this is right now, just understand that's part of the process.
Murph had this game penciled in as a potential return, but obviously wasn't named last night. Where's he at? Is he one that you might bring back for the last game or put him on ice for the rest of the year?
Yeah, it's been really frustrating for Murph and us. It's one of those injuries that's just niggled and stayed around, and we tested him this week and he's still just not quite right, so it's probably the end for Murph this year.
A pretty frustrating time, what the whole journey was through that period, but yeah, unfortunately the ankle just didn't get to a point where I could perform. So I had plenty of discussions with Bolts and the medical team and make sure that I get a full pre-season under my belt.
In round 21, the Blues again boarded the plane to head north, this time to take on the Brisbane Lions at the Gabba.
What will you do today that will make you feel fulfilled because you've helped someone else?
The game provided a chance to blood another member of the 2015 draft class, David Cunningham.
With the awkward bounce, it's still alive for Hipwood, gives it to Rich, who makes them pay.
With the Lions heading to the main break with a 40-point lead. A strong fight back in the second half saw Carlton bring the margin back to under a goal, only to fall agonisingly short in the end. A bitterly disappointing 4-point loss.
To go up there and to lose the way in which we did, I think pretty filthy with the performance we put in up there.
So we've got to train it, so it's habit, and then there's no, will we dial it up or won't we? It's just who we are. Because we're not letting up. You've already shown your hand what can be a habit. And if we're not there, we demand that it is.
Sometimes the day-to-day expectations of the AFL season need to be put to the side. Utility Matthew Wright has been away from the club for a day to attend his grandmother's funeral.
Spoke okay? I said a few words and then the old man sort of brought it home.
Yeah.
So.
Did you both hold it together or?
Yeah, I managed to.
Good. Oh, it's hard to do. I spoke at my grandmother's and a little bit quivery in the voice.
It's tough. I think it gets me is when I see either mum and dad crying or my sister crying or the missus or whatever.
Yeah.
That's when I sort of get going a bit.
Well, not many get to play one game, let alone 100, mate, and your grandmother got to see.
And she would have seen them all as well, so
yeah.
It was sort of the only thing sort of keeping her going towards the end.
Yeah. It's amazing how family keeps people going, isn't it? Yeah. I'm glad you got to go, mate.
Yeah, appreciate the time off.
For the entirety of his debut season, #1 draft pick Jacob Wietering has made a ritual of a family dinner before each home game.
Definitely got to work on his cooking skills. Very, very good in the morning with eggs. Yeah, so he's great with poached, fried, scrambled, but yeah, he needs to work on dinner. It's the downtime in the car that he really likes, yeah. And just sleeping at home in his own bed and yeah, which is great. So as parents, we're thrilled. It's great that he still wants to come home.
I love it. I love every aspect of going to watch him play, but what happens, you end up worrying a little bit about injuries.
I think Darren worries about injuries more than I do. I actually just take it on, I go and actually enjoy it and don't worry until something happens. We're just so excited that the new boys have been able to have some impact and be able to contribute to the Blues, which has been fantastic. So, Jacob, is there any more sweet potato?
Oh yeah.
It's a really good way to get away from it all, take the mind off, obviously the game itself the next day and all the nerves that come with it, and just focus on what's important, I guess. I was lucky I didn't move too far from home with my mum's sister, my auntie, doing all the cooking for me, so they're very good eaters up there as well, so I get meals very similar to this with lots of greens, carbs, protein and plenty of red meat, which is good. Whether it's with family or friends for that matter, or extended family, grandparents, cousins, it's just getting back to, I guess, who you really are, not just the footballer.
MCG at 1:10 to about 4:15. Sunday the 21st of August 2016, the Carlton Footy Club and you as an individual need to stand for something.
The boys are faced with the challenge of the young, informed demons at their home ground, the MCG.
That's talent. Have a look at the strength of Cripps here in the tackle. That is just magnificent.
The boys come out of the gates firing, taking an early lead. With blanketing pressure and feverish intensity, the Blues put Melbourne's final hopes to bed, coming out 20-point winners.
The Blues are back on the winners list. 20-point win to Carlton.
The win was the first for draftee David Cunningham, who got to experience one of football's most unique traditions, the Gatorade shower.
And to see Cunners in the circle, getting his Gatorade shower after the game. I'm really close mates with him, so I was a little bit envious of him, but super happy for him because he deserves it and he's going to be a really good player long term for our footy club. Maybe next week.
Win, lose or draw that game, what was the feeling of being here? Stood for something. Stood for something.
This is my favourite exercise I'm doing so far. It's harder than it looks. This brace that I've been wearing for at least 6 weeks now, I think I get it off today, which is another step in the right direction. So at the minute I'm just taking it step by step. All the simple things I can do to get it right and get the muscle back in the leg is pretty exciting. I'm heading home in a couple of weeks to enjoy some family time with my parents and my brother and sister, which will be pretty good. So it's obviously going to be a long road of 12 months, but there's going to be a lot of things that I can do in between that time to improve not only my injury but become better as a person and also a player.
Carlton and it's Essendon at the MCG on a Saturday afternoon. You've got to love that no matter the circumstances.
Essendon awaited the Blue Boys in round 23. The Bombers started hard and fast, finding themselves in control of the play from an early juncture.
48 and closing for the Blues gives them something to shout about.
And the siren sounds and 2016 is over for Essendon and Carlton.
After the game, yeah, the mood in the change room was just pretty flat, even though the season had finished.
There's a bitter taste in our mouths. Is definitely going to drive us for the rest of the pre-season.
There's a responsibility of getting yourself in the right mindset, Chris. We've made progress, but there's still a gap. Do we feel that we are better prepared now than we were in November last year? Yes. Okay, the only way you can feel that is for all the hard work that you've done to this point. We've got to go again, and we've got to go harder and smarter again. So understand, we have a truckload of work to do. Now, it might be hard to think about the pre-season, but understand it's coming hard and heavy. Because we want you to be rewarded. And want the footy club to be rewarded.
And just like that, season 2016 is over. Growth has been steady but indisputable. 7 wins, 4 AFL debuts, 7 Carlton debuts. The leaders of this club, our club, know that the climb up the AFL ladder can't be achieved solely through the work of coaches and players. This is a combined effort. Every member, staffer, corporate partner and supporter who bleeds navy blue has a role to play in Carlton's progression. This is our journey, and it's going to be one hell of a ride.
We are all in this together.